Hello and welcome to the core series. Today's routine is going to take you through a few variations on the plank and we're going to introduce some side planking. So all we need today is yourself and the mat. So don't forget to listen to the body, go at your own pace and don't forget to breathe. Let's get straight into it. So we're just going to warm up in our plank position. So we can either be down on the forearms and up on the toes. We can even have the knees down for this first one. Or we can be in the full press up plank. So whichever modification you're in, just make sure the hips stay nice and level, the shoulders are strong, and we breathe in nice and consistently. So the breath is really at the forefront of a lot of these exercises that we go through. So at any stage during this routine, you can drop to the knees, you can come out, take a breather and rejoin us. So let's allow the body to warm up. Okay, this exercise is fantastic for building strength and stability around the spine, around the hips, up into the shoulders. So make sure the hips aren't dropping, make sure the shoulders are staying strong. Okay, and from here, we're going to shift back into our downward dog. So this just gives us an opportunity to put those arms overhead, adding a little bit of movement into this plank routine. So here we can keep the knees slightly bent if you have the flexibility to drop the heels down to the mat. By all means do, but please don't sacrifice the flat back. So let's keep the breath fluid, sink down into the shoulders. Okay, and then from here, we're going to return back into the plank. So choose the modification that best suits you. I'm going to shift back. Okay, so we might be down on the forearms. Might just be holding it here. It might be on the knees. So again, just modify where needed. And let's hold it here. Okay, and then from here we're going to transition back into the downward dog. So bend the knees slightly, shifting back, pushing with the hands. Let's just gently allow the body to warm up, breathing into the belly. Sinking down into the upper back. Okay, and then from here, we're going to shift back into the plank. So you may want to drop to the knees first for the transition. Or if you're happy to do so, shifting back into the plank and holding here. So again, drop into the forearms if needed, bringing the knees down to the mat. Okay, whatever we do in good form, good control. Let's hold it here. Okay, the shoulders will be working hard now. Breathing into the belly. And then from here we're going to do one more transition. So let's shift back into our downward dog. And let's hold it here for one last time. So we might be able to sink a little bit deeper into the shoulders.
Might be able to drop the heels down towards the mat a little bit closer. Okay, we all have different ranges of motion. So work with your body at your pace. Okay, a couple more breaths here. And then dropping down to the knees.
Okay, so we're going to go into our side plank now. So we've got a couple of different variations here. We can start off on the knees, on our shoulder here. Then we're going to come up and we're going to drive the hips forward. Okay, make sure we're nice and strong through the shoulder. We're not dropping down into the shoulder. We're lifting the hips up. Knees on the ground. And staying here. Now if this is challenging enough for you, stay there. If you want to take it a step further, we're going to come up onto the feet. Okay, you can have 1 foot forward or 1 foot back. And let's just hold it here. So this is quite a lot more challenging on the shoulder. So stay in control. Keep the hips up. A couple more breaths here. And then coming down. Good work. And then switching to the other side. So forearm on the mat, knees together. And then coming up and driving the hips forward so you've got a nice flat body all the way and down into the front of the legs. And if you want to take it a step further, we're going to come up onto the feet and hold it here. So making sure we're lifting the hips up, we're driving the hips forward, we're using all the muscles through the side of our body, down through the side of our hip. Okay, you can have the right foot behind you. We can stack it on top. Make sure the hips are coming forward. Okay, a couple more breaths here. And then coming down. I'm going to do 2 more sets of that. So coming over to the other side. Forearm on the mat, knees together, and then coming up onto the knees. Now if this is challenging for you, stay here, there's no need to go any further. But if you want to do 1 step further, coming up onto the feet, we can either stack the feet one on top of each other, or 1 foot behind, just for a little bit more balance. But let's stay strong through that shoulder. Let's not drop down, keep the hips strong, and let's hold it here. Okay, come out at any point, you just need to take a breather. And then coming down nice and slow. Switching to the other side. So forearm on the mat, knees together, and driving up. Keeping the body flat, driving the hips forward, staying strong through the shoulder. On a nice straight line from your shoulder down into your elbow. And if this is challenging enough for you, stay here. If you want to take it a step further, in control, coming up onto the feet, we can either stack the feet on top of each other or 1 foot behind, just for a little bit more stability. Make sure we drive those hips forward. We stay strong and nice and tall through that hip. If you you feel like you're losing form, that is your cue to drop down, take a breather and rejoin. Couple more breaths here. And then coming down. Okay, one more set. Coming over onto the right forearm, knees together. I'm going to drive up nice and strong through the shoulder. If this is challenging for you, stay here. If you want to take it a step further, carefully coming up onto the side, stacking the feet on top, or 1 foot behind just to give you a bit more stability. Stay high in those hips. Keep the hips driving forward. Okay, this is really tough on the shoulder. If it feels sore at all, just come down. Couple more breaths here. And then coming down. Okay, last one. And onto our left elbow, knees together. And let's drive up. Okay, drive the hips forward, stay nice and tall. Stay here if this is challenging. There's no need to go any further. If you do want to take it a step further, coming up and stacking the feet on top of each other. We're going to have 1 foot behind, just to create a bit more of a steady base. Lift the hips up, stay strong in that shoulder, drive the hips forward. Just challenging the abdominal muscles in a slightly different pattern. Challenging our hips, challenging our shoulders. A couple more breaths here. And then down. Good work. Okay. We're going to come on to our stomach now. For our back extension exercise. So, going to bring the knees together, toes pointing down towards the mat. Lower legs about 45-degree angle. Hands by the side. Now squeeze the legs together. And we're going to raise up. Lift the chest up off the mat. So really important. We activate those legs, all the muscles that lead into our pelvis. So we end up working the whole body. Squeeze the shoulders together. Couple more breaths here. And then coming down. Take a breather. Okay, really good for working all our postural muscles through the back, through the neck, our shoulders. Gets the heart rate up. So let's calm things down and let's get ready for our second set. So, feet together, ankles, knees, inner thighs, toes pointing towards the mat, lower legs about 45-degree angle, hands by the side. Let's squeeze and lift. Let's hold it here. Keep breathing into the belly. A few more breaths here. Final lift. And then down. Good work. Okay, so just take a few moments here. We're not racing through this routine. Really listening to the body. Finding the areas that challenge you the most. So let's get ready for our third set. So squeezing the knees, the ankles, the inner thighs together, pointing the toes down towards the mat. Lower legs about 45-degree angle. Hands by your side. And let's raise the chest up off the mat. Squeeze the shoulders together. Keep squeezing. Keep lifting that chest up. Come out at any stage if you just need to take a breather. One last lift. And down. Good work. Okay, just coming up onto the knees and just sitting back on the heels and just reach the arms out in front. Okay, let's get ready for our next set of planks. So again, we can be down on the forearms, we can be down on the knees. Okay, we can come up off the knees and hold in here. If you want to take it a step further, and then we're up into the full press up plank. Okay, we're holding it here. So once we're in this position, if you want to take it one step further, we're bringing the feet together. We're raising the left leg up off the mat, and we're drawing in, and we're holding it here. Keep that knee nice and tight. Make sure the hips aren't rotating, they're staying level. And then we're bringing that leg back, raising the right leg up, drawing in and hold. And back and drop to the knees. And let's just sit back onto the heels with the toes tucked under, just to regain our strength. As you'll notice, we're taking adequate breaks in between sets. It's important that we hit every set with good form, so we practice the movement. Okay, let's get into our second one. So again, we can be down on the forearms, on the knees, or in the full press up plank. So choose the modification that's good for you. If we're in the full press up plank and you need a little bit more, let's bring the feet together. And we're raising the left leg up, and we're drawing it in to the stomach. So just hold on the shoulders, hold on the hips, and stay here. And then bringing that left leg back, we're raising the right leg up, and we're drawing it in and holding.
Stand back, drop to the knees, flatten the front of the feet on the mat, and we're going to sit back and just give the arms a bit of a stretch out. Okay, get your breath back. It's really challenging on the shoulders, challenging on the whole body. Okay, third and final set. They're coming up. Okay, again, we can be down on the forearms, on the knees, or in the forearm plank. If you're happy to do so, come up into the full press up plank. If this is challenging enough for you, stay here. If you need a little bit more, bring the feet together, raise the left leg up, and we're drawing it in to the chest and we're holding it. Couple more breaths here, and then back. Right leg up, draw it in and hold. Couple more breaths, and then back, knees down, up on the toes. I'm going to sit back. Just sit back on our heels, just allow those shoulders to recover. Okay, this in itself is a great resting posture. We just work the soles of the feet, putting the knees into this full flexion. You might want to put a pillow underneath the backs of the legs if it's just a little bit too much. So let's just hang out here for a couple of moments. Get the heart rate back down for our next set of side planks. Okay, when we're ready, coming back on down, laying on our side. Okay, so right forearm on the mat. We're going to come up onto our knees. Okay, nice flat line from your chest, belly, down into the front of the legs. Okay, stay here if this is challenging enough for you. Coming up onto the feet, stacking the feet if you want to take it a step further. But make sure the shoulder is strong. You're right on top of the shoulder. Your elbows directly underneath you. You're lifting your hips up. Okay, back foot can be just out a little bit, just to create a bit more of a platform. Okay, dropping down at any stage. This is a process, something to work on over time. And then coming down. Good work. Switching sides. Coming over to our left hand side. So get in good position first. Knees slightly bent. We're going to come up onto our knees. Drive the hips forward. Stay strong in that shoulder. If this is challenging for you, stay here. No need to go any further. If you want to take it a step further, we're coming up, stacking our feet, staying nice and tall through those hips, really activating the side of our body. Okay, bringing that back foot behind if you just need a bit more stability, but make sure those hips are driving forward. All the while keeping that breath fluid. And then coming down. Good work. Okay. Second set. Coming over to the right. Knees together. And when you're ready, driving up, driving the hips forward. Nice and strong through that shoulder, we're not dropping down. Okay, we're getting control over that shoulder. Stay here if this is challenging for you. If you want to take it a step further, coming up, stacking the feet, driving the hips forward, nice flat body. Let's hold it here. Bringing that back foot behind. If you need to have a little bit more stability. Okay, this is hard work. So drop down at any point. Couple more breaths here. And down. Fantastic. Coming over to our left hand side. Okay, knees together. Forearm on the mat. And let's come up on our left hand side. So drive the hips forward, get nice and strong through the shoulder. If you want to take it a step further, let's bring that leg up, lift the knees up off the mat and stack the feet on top of each other. Keep the hips tall, drive the hips forward. Okay, take a breather at any stage, rejoin us at any stage. Press pause. And then coming down. Good work. Okay, third and final set. So forearm on the mat, knees together. Let's drive up. If this is challenging enough for you, stay here. Okay, no need to go any further. If you want to take it a step further, coming up onto our feet, lifting the knees up off the mat, and let's hold it here. Make sure there's no pain in your shoulder. If it feels awkward, if it feels a bit dodgy, then that's probably your cue to come back down, recheck your position, or maybe just ease back a little bit. Just hold it here. Couple more breaths. And then coming down. Fantastic work. Okay, last one. Okay, bringing the knees together. Get into good position and driving the hips up. Nice flat, all the way from your chest, through the stomach and into the quads, front of your thighs. If this is challenging enough for you, stay here. And we're going to take it one step further if you feel like you need a little bit more. So again, keep those hips driving forward. It's hard on the shoulders, this one. You might want to put one foot behind just to stabilise. Nice flat body. Okay, a few more breaths here. And then coming down. Good work. Right. For our final posture of the day, the most important one, where we lie flat on our back. Okay, we open up the hands. Open up the feet to the ceiling. Okay,
Let's get the breathing back into check. Okay, this is important because we've created a window of opportunity in today's training session. And to see the full benefit, we need to get our body back into a calm state, our parasympathetic system, allowing the body to set up for recovery, to adapt and mould to some of those new positions. So let's get the breathing into our belly. See if we can breathe in for 4 to 6 to 8 seconds in. Hold it right at the top for a couple of seconds, and then match that duration on the exhale. So today's session went through some good variations on the plank, on the side plank. Add them into your routines. Slowly work away at them. Okay, with consistent practice and time on the mat, you'll get stronger, more stable. But always listen to the body. So always go at your own pace, there's no pressure to hold it for any duration of time. It's about building your strength, your stability, no one else's. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to seeing you on the mat again tomorrow. Thank you very much.